The western part of what was Iraq's second biggest city is in ruins. No plans have been announced about how it will be rebuilt or who will pay the multi-billion-dollar repair bill. On the ground, Iraqi security forces have been treating civilians in makeshift field clinics. Soldiers say this child spent weeks hiding with his family in a cellar. He's suffering some form of skin condition. And this is one of 2 field hospitals set up by the World Health Organization in western Mosul. More than 5,000 patients have been treated so far. Many of the worst cases have been brought here. People suffering serious head and spine injuries. And there are burn victims too. Abdullah SABAH was injured as the army closed in on ISIL fighters hiding in the Shahawan neighborhood.
I put bandage on him. The next day I went to the military. They took us to another field hospital outside the old city, then redirected us to another facility. The medical staff spared no effort to treat him. His jaw was fractured, 2 fractures in his arm. His neck bones were almost smashed. The doctors are saying we need to take him to Erbil city.
It's not known where the families of many of these children are, such as this boy who had to have his left leg amputated. The battle is all but over in western Mosul, but many of these patients are fighting for their lives.
This patient has been injured a few days ago in the old city of Mosul, and she's suffered very severe injuries on the left leg, which we tried to save with using external fixation and wound debridement and other techniques. But as infection progresses, we are worried that she might lose her leg.
The UN says around 1 million Iraqis were forced to flee Mosul. Some have started to return from camps in the Kurdish-controlled area of northern Iraq. Most of these people are returning to the eastern half of the city, where there's less destruction.
The Iraqi military are still hunting for what they describe as the last remnants of ISIL fighters still hiding in certain pockets of western Mosul. And government forces are battling ISIL fighters that retook control of 2 villages around 65 kilometers south of the city last week. Meanwhile, the government says it is going to supply enough security on the ground in Mosul so hundreds of thousands of people who fled the fighting can return in the next 100 days. The fact of the matter is that thousands of families literally have no homes to return to. And there are concerns about what is believed to be thousands of improvised explosive devices and unexploded ordnance that could take months to clear. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Erbil.